Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya. Har Har Bole, Namah Shivaya. Rameshwarai, Shiva Rameshwarai. Har Har Bole, Namah Shivaya. Rameshwarai, Shiva Rameshwarai. Har Har Bole, Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya. Har Har Bole, Namah Shivaya. Gangadarai, Shiva Gangadarai. Har Har Bole, Namah Shivaya. Gangadarai, Shiva Gangadarai. Har Har Bole, Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya. Har Har Bole, Namah Shivaya. Vishveshwarai, Shiva Vishveshwarai. Har Har Bole, Namah Shivaya. Vishveshwarai, Shiva Vishveshwarai. Har Har Bole, Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya. Har Har Bole, Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya. Har Har Bole, Namah Shivaya.
And guess what? You get to keep the mic.
Swaminiji, you shared that every body has a purpose and has a reason for being here. Many young people also ask me how to find my purpose. And so if Swamiji can illuminate that question.
The purpose is not found as long as I am not in alignment with everything that is. What is, is Ishvara in the form of this Jagat, which starts with my own body, mind, sense complex, because it is everything that I can observe. Usually what happens is that it need not be one big epiphany of a purpose. It could be many different purposes. It could be many things, 2 or 3 things, 100 things, one thing, doesn't matter. But as long as I have already decided that these are the things I like to do, these are the things I do not like to do, that is like an eclipse that obfuscates the purpose, or it can. So I grow from a person who is accustomed to doing what I like into a person who likes whatever there is to do. That is the growth. And obviously, it cannot happen at 19. Yes. Sometimes it takes up to 92. Aha! And it's okay. Because what's the rush? Oh, what if I don't get it in this life? That's okay. There is another life. Don't worry. This is the nice thing about Punarjanma. It's nice. You don't have to finish doing everything in this life. Who says? Relax. As long as I'm working towards that, I'm okay. And so here, what I want, how I want my life, and what I like to do, what I want to do, comes in the way of the reason my body mind sense complex was constructed. The reason why I'm here often escapes me because I am busy wanting to do something else, plainly, something that I'm not good at, for example. Often people will spend many years trying to do something that they are not good at before they can just be at peace with what they are good at and what they can do. And it is like that. We are not comfortable in our skins. And I know a person who wanted to be a dancer. Nothing wrong. Wanted to be a dancer. Tried. Only problem was both the feet were left feet. Yeah. Went to various teachers and went to various dance forms. Couldn't, had no sense of rhythm. Nothing wrong. I mean, it's okay to not have a sense of rhythm. And had no sense of rhythm, and so would be very frustrated. Half the life is gone and I'm still trying to dance. And I told this person, maybe you can dance around this desire and go do something else. What are you good at? And it turned out that this person was good at many things. You ask the person something, and yes, I have done this, I know how to do this. But often, what we know how to do and what comes easily to us, we do not want to do that. Because I've been there, done that, catch and kill, and have finished with it. Next, I want to do something else. And here is the rub. Here is there is a reason why I have been born in this body. To continue with the example with 2 left feet. Why do I have this body? Why do I have this kind of a mind? Why do I have these senses? All this, I have to allow it to come through. I have to let my own agenda go in order to grow. And if I just find myself, if I quieten down enough to see what may be needed, not even in the life as some kind of a big purpose, but today what is needed from me, that itself is something very educational and inspirational, spontaneous. Today somebody needs help and I'm in a place to provide it. Today somebody has a dream and I happen to be in a place to fulfill it. Today somebody fell down and I happen to be right there and I can give them a hand and they can say, oh, thank God you came, and I can help them up. Today somebody asked me something, directions to somewhere, and I happen to know. This itself gives a lot of, what is that? There's a lot of satisfaction. Because the human being needs 2 kinds of growth. One kind of growth happens on its own. What kind of growth? After being at the ashram and eating this wonderful brunch 2 times a day, we grow sideways. That's one kind of growth that happens on its own. And of course, there's the boutique, okay? Yeah. And another kind of growth also happens on its own from birth to death. We call it Shad Vikaraha, 6 kinds of modifications. I am born. What did I do to get born? Nothing. I did not have to plan. I did not take any lamas classes. Okay, I should breathe along with the mother. Nothing. I was just pushed out, finished. One is born. And then what? One survives birth. One grows up. Jayate, asti, vardhate. And then one becomes capable of starting a family. One blossoms. Becomes capable of reproducing. Up till now, it's all wonderful. Now you have to sort of steel the nerves. After that, apakshiyate, viparinamate blossoms. Apakshiyate means weakens. And whenever the person wakes up from bed, all kinds of click clack noises from every joint advertises itself. I'm here too. And then by the time one is in the 40s, usually there are one or two medications. By the time one is in the 50s, 1/4 of the food is medication. By the time one is in the 70s, half of the food is medication. And then when one is in the 90s, 3/4 of the food is just pills and potions. Little bit of food, that's all. This is apakshiyate, it happens. And then finally what? Tata, vinashyati. The body is destroyed. To undergo these sixfold transformations, I don't even have to lift one finger, nothing I have to do. Absolutely zero. It just happens on its own. While this kind of a growth is sufficient for animals, it will not do for the human being. I want more. The human being wants to grow from being a consumer to a contributor. I want to give something. Even the person who doesn't want to give anything and who's going around, mine, go away, mine, you can't have it. Even that person wants to give. And this is the struggle with the purpose, wanting to give, but not knowing what to give, not knowing where to give, not knowing how to give. This is the confusion. I want to give something, but I don't know how. Why? Because there are all kinds of fears and desires. If I give them, they'll just, make me into a doormat. No, I don't want to do that. I don't want to extend myself and give the wrong impression. And so what will I do? Not give. And then when I don't give, I'm not in alignment because I want to give. That's it's a deeper want than wanting ice cream. So it's a much deeper want. It resonates with the depth of my very being. And so if I don't heed that call, so many things happen. I mean, people who are alternative practitioners can trace certain diseases to not being in alignment with oneself. So many diseases are there, and each disease has a signature. And nowadays, we have less and less of, coronavirus apart, we have less and less of viruses and bacteria. I mean, gone are the days of the plague and all these things, the difficult kinds of diseases. Now we have mastered all of them, medical science. But Lord Shani, Saturn, who's a very tough teacher. Guru is also a teacher. Jupiter is a teacher. Jupiter says, Ajao, please come, sit down. How is your day going? And I think you need a little bit of spiritual instruction, don't you? This is Jupiter's style of teaching. Saturn says, come here. And you say, no, you look scary, I'm not coming. I'm going to come and just take away your shirt. Oh, but I'm cold. Deal. Saturn is that kind of a teacher, takes away the rug from under the feet and takes away the shirt from the body and says, learn. Yes, you wanted to learn. You prayed to grow. Here, grow. Grow out of what? Grow out of crying for one thing. Stop crying and start living. This is Saturn. So These are the two primary teachers. Shukra, Venus is also a teacher, but again a very gentle teacher. And we say that Shukracharya was the teacher of the Rakshasas, the Asuras, the demonic beings. Not not the teacher's fault. The teacher's karma was to have these kinds of students. What will the teacher do? He also taught Tattvamasi, no problem. And the guru of the gods, Brihaspati, also taught Tattvamasi, also taught the Upanishads. But his karma was such that he had these kinds of students. It's not his fault. And so, when these kinds of wake up calls come, Saturn comes into the life and everything is gone. That's when the ashram starts to look really good. Yes, I'm there. I'm coming. I have booked a week because I find myself totally helpless and hopeless. So, in order to find my purpose, I can look back at my life. How did I behave the last few times when I was desperate, helpless, and hopeless? What did I do? And the answer may surprise us. The answer may be yes, I did all these things and I got this and I got that. And then we can do the same thing this time as well. Be in a position for once in our lives to receive rather than just be full of ourselves and say, I have a plan. Somebody said, if you want to make God laugh, tell him your plans. This is what it is. So, the purpose will come, but there is no need to even wait for it. We can help ourselves by seeing the areas in which one is good at. There are some skills everybody has. Even the one who says, I'm a donkey, has some skills. Maybe they can imitate donkeys and make other people laugh. Who knows? They have some skills. And so that is something I have to see. Where are my talents? A. And where are my limitations? Physical limitations, mental limitations, etc. Sometimes karma throws a curved ball, and what I consider to be limitations are actually talents. I want to sing, but I don't know how to sing. I know how to sing, but I'm very shy and I have self-confidence issues. And so therefore what? So therefore it means something. It means that if I have self-confidence issues, it's not that I'm looking for another way to express myself. I have to get over that. I have to get over that. I have to be with myself enough to have a sense of comfort. Be comfortably uncomfortable. And so we stumble along, we have a few false starts, we fall, we pick up, we dust ourselves off and start again. It's okay as long as we are trying, as long as there is the openness in the heart, the purpose will be shown. In the meantime, go with the spontaneous purpose and then find purpose in whatever you are doing. Find meaning and purpose. Even if you are in the most meaningless job, find meaning and purpose there. That itself is the sadhana.
Hari Om. My question is on, Advaita Vidya that you're teaching us. What is the role of bhakti in this? Because if we are all one, then, why we are praying to another deity, and that shows duality. So I wasn't clear. What is the role of bhakti?
Do we know that we are all one? Yes? No? Do we know that we are all one? Not yet. We don't know. If we knew, there is no need to do anything else. There's no need to go to temples, mosques, synagogues, churches, anything. There's no need, because I know I'm one with you, O Lord, finished. O Goddess, there's no need to do anything. But frequently I don't know, or we can't even say I don't know. Why should we say I don't know? I am in the process of knowing. I am in the process of knowing. This is a very good way to understand that. That means that we have an inkling, but we are not quite there yet. If I am not in the world of the absolute, that means I'm living in the empirical world of give, take, of people, of multiplicities. I'm living in a dualistic world. I have to negotiate many things. And karma being such, it will always create obstacles. Whatever I want, what will happen? I do not get. Whatever I don't want, two helpings of it come. That's how it is. Karma follows Murphy's law. If anything can go wrong, it will. Yeah. In fact, before Murphy, karma might have written that law. Murphy just copied it. And so, the very fact that I have goals, ambitions, and desires, why should I not have them? Of course, I have them. And I want to pursue them in a dharmic way. I'm not trying to cut away another person's chances of getting them. I also want to pursue them. If this is the case, then why should I not? Why should I not go for it? When I go for it, I find that there are obstacles. All kinds of obstacles come. The best obstacle story is what I had witnessed. The gulab jamun. Yeah, this morning I was talking. They flew like sweet missiles from they were launched from the plate and landed far away. So this is what it is. Many obstacles are there. The desires keep growing, so do the obstacles. That's why I want to ward off the obstacles, clear the path so that I can pursue what I want. It's important. I live here. I have a body. I have needs. I have wants. And so, therefore, who else to go to except Ishvara? If you say, if you say that I want this and you tell your neighbor or you tell your friend, they also will have a bigger list of wants that they will give you. Okay, I'll take care of that, but here is my list. So that doesn't work. And people tell me all the time, oh, you shouldn't ask God for a trivial thing like a job. Whoever says that, ask them to give you a job. Okay? Yeah. Are you ready to give me a job? Ask them. If they say no, then okay, keep quiet. Who else will I go? I have to go to the source, because the source is what is creating the obstacles in the form of my own karma given. And so the karma is my own karma, but it is just recycled and gift wrapped. Bhagavan puts a finger where the bow is tied. Okay, that is wraps it. You know how you ask a friend to put a finger and then you tie the bow so that it is not loose anymore. Yeah. So Bhagavan blesses by putting the finger there. Yeah, this is the one. This packet goes to this person. So the karma keeps unfolding. And the box that comes to me, gift wrapped, I can't open it. It opens on its own whenever it wants and spits something good out and something not so good out. It better be ready. And so I want to ward off these obstacles, even for this vidya of non-duality, this teaching of non-duality. I don't want obstacles. I don't want anything that will keep me away from the teacher, from the teaching, from the ashram. And so therefore I pray. And prayer is wonderful because what is the karma? The karma is difficult things, wrong things which I had done in this life or other lives, leading to uncomfortable obstacles right now, right here. And those obstacles, I couldn't see them coming. They are called adrishta. Adrishta means what? Invisible. Adrishta. Na drishta, adrishta. They are all invisible. I don't see them coming. And suddenly I'm in the middle of them. And so, what does the prayer do? Every prayer, whether it is a mental prayer or the physicalized prayer, which we just did before we came here in the, what is that, Forest Durga temple. So, all of it is what? All of it gives rise to two kinds of effects, fruits. The first kind is immediate. Like after meditation, you generally people don't feel like hitting one another. Okay, this is the immediate effect of meditation. Ha, I'm okay for the next 10 minutes. I'm all right. Yay. This is called Drishtaphala, immediate effect. Then the adrishta is this prayer which I have done also creates adrishta. The meditation also creates adrishta. Adrishta means the invisible effect that is given to me at the time that Ishvara puts the thing on the finger and the bow is made at a later time. So when I pray, the drishtaphala I immediately enjoyed, and the adrishta, the effect of prayer that is kept in abeyance, this adrishta goes and tackles that adrishta which is about to come and mess up my life. It's not unlike a coronavirus vaccine. The antibodies are there and it neutralizes the virus. Similarly, the papa, the difficult situations that are kept in abeyance for me to experience, is neutralized by the punya in the form of prayer. Why does prayer create punya? Prayer creates good karma. Punya means good karma. Prayer creates good karma because I need not pray. I can rob a bank. I can go do many things. But I have chosen to pray. It's only in prayer and other reaching out actions that my will is entirely free. Otherwise, my will is bound up in so many things, and I'm not a free player. The free will is not free at all. The free will is bound up and caught up in so many desires. And so when I pray, I need not pray, so the will is free. It creates punya, and that punya neutralizes all other obstacles in my path, just like the coronavirus. And exactly like the coronavirus, I have to keep taking every 4 months, 6 months. One new booster will come. Same thing with prayer. Same thing with bhakti. I need a bhakti booster. Why? Because that one has expired. I need a new one, up to date, because I have new obstacles now. At that time, I didn't know that I had these obstacles. So the virus, so to speak, in the form of obstacles, has mutated to new situations, and I need to neutralize that. So the prayer, therefore, is done daily. Even here, he said, Mama upatta durita kshayartham ahamidam karishye. In order to clear out my karmic account, at least for today, I am choosing to pray. So even for Advaita Vedanta, even for the teaching that says all that is there is you and you are already Bhagavan, to understand that great grace is needed. Shastra's grace is needed, meaning the Shastra has to speak to me. If I come to one lecture in Taittiriya Upanishad, then I'll say, Tai hu, bye bye. Yeah, I don't feel like it. It happens. Shastra is refusing to bless me, or my mind is not open to the Shastra. And then Guru's grace also. Guru's grace means the teacher is there. Then what do I do sitting with a teacher? I talk about everything except what I need to ask. So like this, I miss so many times. I miss whatever is there, and then Guru's grace. We talk about Shastra's grace, and then Ishvara's grace. This is why the prayer. The situations have to align for me to be committed to this knowledge and to gain the fruit of this knowledge. And so therefore the prayer keeps me in the right place at the right time. So until I don't need to pray, I will pray. Until the bhakti becomes me, pun intended, I continue to pray. And then here, okay, yeah.
Swaminiji, on the Globe Jamun story, how much is it's because of one's own action and how much is because of the karma?
Ah.
The reason I'm asking is like, let's say 500 years ago, if there is a virus came, if someone died, we could say that like, he died because of the karma, and we solved that one, and now it's not because of karma, we can solve it. So when I see sometimes even myself, I say everything, oh, it's because of karma, but sometimes I take responsibility and then like, own my action. I'm not complacent. Like, how do I distinguish between these?
It's very difficult to distinguish. Short answer is you can't. Even Lord Krishna in the Bhagavad Gita says, Gahana karmano gatihi. The ways of karma are very mysterious. How much is karma? Is 70% my own karma and 30% your karma? We don't know. We will never know. Okay? Because you see, because we are living in a world with and dealing with other people who all have free will. So if some people choose to abuse their free will, or let's say they have some kind of a bias, racial bias, gender bias, and so they wreak havoc on one part of the society because of certain biases, xenophobia, so many things are there. So is it the karma of the people on the other side to get this kind of a treatment? It's not all karma, because these people are abusing their free will. So then how much? So is it all abuse of free will? We will say no, because so many, like for example, in natural disasters, many people die and many people do not die. Why only these people? Why not somebody else? And even many times we see that there is unfortunately there is what is that called, plane crash. Plane crashes, and then so many people on board gone, perished. Then the person comes out 2 days, it will come in the news. This person was supposed to be on that aircraft. At the last minute, on a whim, they just cancelled or they did not go. Why? That we can say is karma. So it's a combination of our own actions and the free will of the abuse of the free will of others. But what proportion, which one is, we cannot say. आप इस तरफ बैठ जाइए ना, इधर this, you sit here, yeah. No, you're fine. I was just talking. You can sit there because she's going like this too. Yeah, there is a chair there. Perfect. There was somebody before you. Somebody, yeah, behind you. You. Who else? Somebody had raised their hand. No? Okay. Change their mind. Yeah.
So I have a follow-up question to the bhakti question. What we learned in the last sessions is that from the subjective reality,
Yes.
bhakti brings out to the objective
Correct.
reality.
Absolutely correct.
So this means, in my understanding, from being trapped in wants and likes and all of this to clear vision.
Yes.
This is when I'm in bhakti, but bhakti still means I'm here and the deities are there.
Yes.
And then the next step is from bhakti to mukti.
To mukti, correct. You got it, yes. A plus.
You answered my question.
Yes. Here.
So I had a question from it's from Buddhism, and so I was wondering what Hinduism's Vedanta's take on it is. There was a Buddhist monk who it was said was enlightened, and he would admonish his disciples for wanting things or requesting things, and he would say, "Don't waste your miracles," meaning you shouldn't keep so many desires because you're kind of burning through your like the good karmas that will give you boons, or not like major boons, but that will help you out. So I mean, he could very well have just been kind of admonishing his disciples, but I was just wondering how Vedanta takes a view on good karma. Like, once you generate good deeds, does that stay with you forever, or it is a give and a take, like a bank account?
It's a bank account.
Okay.
Because what you generate using finite means, and then so you cannot generate the infinite. Good karma is not infinite. And whatever that teacher said is correct. Because we talked about it yesterday, I think last night or something, that the best prayer is to say, let all the obstacles for me to get this knowledge recede. Was it last night that we talked about it? Yes. The prayer of a mumukshu, the prayer of a seeker of enlightenment, the prayer of a seeker of knowledge. And so let all the obstacles recede. So therefore, this is, the prayer becomes more and more sophisticated and honed into what I really want. Once I know what I really want. Correct. No, I was just using the Rudram to illustrate. Yes. Yes. Yeah, please use the mic because online people cannot hear.
Okay.
Yeah.
The reason I was asking that is it's like, if you're thinking of praying for something, should you maybe like hold off and be like, I don't want to waste my good karma on something, there might be something more important that I would want to ask for, or does it not really work like that?
Well, it may work like that, but I would say we already restrain ourselves so much in life. And even the prayer, if I want to keep holding on to the karma or something like that, it doesn't matter. Sometimes we don't even plan to ask. You stand in front of a temple and the wands pour out like that. You don't even plan to ask. It just happens. And it's okay. Because karma is not finite. I can again generate good karma. So we can do that. But what the teacher was teaching people who were perhaps in a monastery and who were just totally focused on this one goal alone. And then, yes, you grow into a person who uses prayer judiciously. Not because it is in small supply, because, the grace is always there and I just tap into the grace. But because I want to grow, that is why. In our thing, we would say. But if that's not the case, and usually this knowledge is also pursued by people in the world who are fulfilling their duties, who have certain desires, it's okay to pray for that. It's okay. Yeah.
was wondering, if you read and you listen and you learn and then you get knowledge, where does the word understanding come in? It seems to me like that's like a higher level, or like it's where you can, because you can know something, but that doesn't necessarily mean you do it, or you are it, or you be it. So I was wondering if you had any comments on that.
Yeah, we have, we have that. We don't have theory and practice because there is nothing to practice as such. In fact, for us, the practices come before the knowledge. All the practices help us to assimilate the knowledge. So we say that we listen. Listening helps to gain this knowledge. And once I listen, I gain the knowledge. Then there might be some doubts. Why is it this way? Why is it not this way? How come it's like this? And so those doubts have to be resolved. So first we say Shravanam, listening, then Mananam. Mananam, removal of all kinds of doubts, vagueness, and error. This is if the listening has given me the knowledge, but still it is riddled with doubts, I have to do Mananam. And then I find that I know I'm Brahman, but I'm not living like Brahman. I know that I'm Brahman, but somehow my life is just very much mired in old habits. I have old habits from before the knowledge, because of which I'm not able to do this. And so then we say, chewing the cud. Just like the cow brings out what it has partially eaten, because it eats in a hurry. It doesn't know how long it will be on the pasture. And then it finds it has the whole day. Oh, really? What to do now? Sit under a tree and ruminate. That's why ruminate has a double meaning. It is what the cow does, it is what the sadhu also does. Ruminate. So, what does the cow do? Brings out the hastily eaten grass, and then slowly under the lovely shady tree it is sitting, and it enjoys a wheat grass smoothie after chewing it properly. It makes itself a green smoothie by masticating the grasses properly without a blender. Yeah. And then it enjoys the smoothie. Same thing with the person who's the seeker of knowledge. In the beginning, there is just I want more, I want more, I want more. So the mumukshu, the seeker, just quickly nibbles on the various Upanishadic grasses. And then our job is to chew it properly and enjoy the juice. The essence of that grass is actually you. So enjoy oneself. And how does one do that? One takes the sentences of the Upanishad and just ruminate here figuratively upon them. Sentences which I have been taught. If I have not been taught, I will not be able to do this. But sentences which I have been taught, I will ruminate. And I will say, oh, or even anything that I have heard, I can ruminate on that. Yes, subjective to objective reality, how to go. I can sit and just sort of enjoy that again and again. That is called nididhyasana. The same root verb for dhyanam, meditation. It's a kind of a contemplation. And this is what helps to have a deeper assimilation of the knowledge and get rid of old habits of complaining. In fact, I know I'm Brahman, there is nothing to complain about. And the last time I checked, Brahman does not complain, but still I do. Yes, I have a Jiva attack. That's what. Even though I'm Brahman, I just had a Jiva attack. And so, in the beginning, the jiva attacks will be frequent, and after that, they will be few and far between. Then finally, the day will come when I say, Jiva, who? So, it's a process because we have many habitual patterns, and those patterns have to go. We have very deeply ingrained pattern, getting anxious, getting sad, getting what is that, self judgmental, self loathing. All these are habits. And after I have gained the knowledge, those habits are of no use, but still they drive me. And so I have to then sit and reflect on who I am and sit with that reflection in order to leave those habits. Let the habits drop. In the beginning, I catch it after the habit has come and gone. Oops, too late. Then the next time, after little more practice, I catch it as it is happening. But still, I don't stop, I do it anyway. Then comes a time I catch it before it happens and say, oh, I can go down that road, but I'm choosing not to do that.
Om Swamini. What if you are I'm of a very emotional nature. I'm an artist. I have to be open, and I'm writing this and doing that. And so I know that I am sensitive. I know, something will happen and a remark will be made. And I'm like, I know that's not about me, and don't take it personally, but I do. And so this happened. I'm here with some friends, and this happened. And I was standing, I knew, and I was listening to your words in my head. And I said, okay, I'm going to try the tea thing. And I was standing in line and talking to myself, and that helped. And then I have a breathing practice, and that helped, but it still kept coming back. And the only thing that worked was laughing in my head, laughing
Nice.
Crazy.
Nice.
So then I'm sitting in meditation, I'm laughing, I don't have the emotion, and the tears are still coming. That's never happened before.
It's good. It's wonderful. You just had a breakthrough because the tears come, but you are still laughing. Yes. It is Ananda that upholds the sadness. You had a demo of that. It is that Ananda, which is your nature, which just manifests the sadness. It's like a little bit of sprinkles. Yes, on a sunny day, sometimes you can have a little rain,
Yeah.
And that's beautiful because there's a rainbow. Yeah, that's who you are.
So the laughing just came to me. I've never done that before. Just
That's
keep doing
wonderful.
that.
Yes, see, that's what I say. See the humor in even the saddest situation. See the humor. And when we laugh at ourselves, then we are prepared for when other people laugh at us. So we are completely ready. Because I know how to laugh at myself, and then I just need to not take it personally when other people laugh at me. Because what is the me? Satchidananda, Satyam Jnanam Anantam. So nobody, Satchidananda, nobody can laugh at because it's what they want to be too. Everybody wants that. It is no laughing matter. So what will they make fun of? They'll make fun of the body, let them. But everybody's body is very funny. Yes. Yeah. Too long, too short, too big, too small, this way, that way. We all are very funny. Our faces are funny, our bodies are funny. Our minds are weird. Yeah, they can laugh at our minds. Really weird. Where one thought goes to another thought. Don't know how it goes. What is this thinking pattern? And how, by just no data at all, I can come to the conclusion that somebody hates me without any data. Weird. Fascinating, but weird. So if I laugh at myself at all those things, because then other people can only laugh at the body, the mind, the senses, my behavior, none of it is me. The more I know the real me, then everything becomes a laughing matter. So that's wonderful. Thank you for sharing that.
So I'm back to prayer. It's a bit of a follow-up to the previous question. So I'm not sure I understand from my tradition. A lot of our prayer is praise of God. Not that we don't ask for things like peace and tranquility in the world and
Whatever we
good health,
want.
whatever
Yeah.
we want.
Yeah.
But it seems that if we're trying to overcome our obstacles and having a jiva fit or attack,
I
then
like the word jiva fit.
then as we hopefully evolve and have fewer of them, then are we just naturally just praising God, or are we praying
Yes,
less?
so we also praise. Yeah, we
So
also
is
have a
it-
lot
is
of
it kind
praise.
of, does it change in balance? Or?
Yes, it does, because then you become a different kind of a devotee. The kind of devotee described in the Bhagavad Gita, who is a jnani bhakta, the one who knows and one who chooses to be devotional, because from the standpoint of this body, mind, sense complex, I'm still relating to the whole. And that's something beautiful. So the praise, so that's how the praise is just praise without really wanting anything. So the praise has another purpose, because when I praise God, in our tradition, what we say is the object of the praise, which is God, is perfect, is infallible, is just total, full, whole, all power, all might, omniscient. Who am I? The being that's struggling to spell omniscient. That's who I am. These limitations and this notion that I am a limited being, to immerse into that which is truly limitless. And so that is why in every tradition there is praise, because the praised does not need the praise. That's why it works. And the praiser is praising the truth of oneself, really. But even if that is too far-fetched to think of, whatever the praiser is praising is erasing the opposite of whatever I think I am. So the limited jumps into the limitless, and all there is limitless. That's why there is an immersion. Prayer, song, there is an immersion into the lyrics of the song.
Yeah, because if I'm always addressing my obstacles, then I feel
Yes.
like I'm limiting myself
Yeah.
just by only that kind of prayer.
Yes. No, but even our prayers, even though we say it removes obstacles, we are not specifically asking for the obstacles to be removed. Like, for example, Ganesha, we pray to Ganesha for the removal of obstacles, God in the form of the remover of obstacles. So we don't say, oh Ganesha, remove obstacles. We say, Om Sumukha Yanamaha, oh you beautiful faced one, my salutations. Like this we say, Ekadanta Yanamaha, the single tusked one, my salutations. What happened to the other tusk? Well, he broke it off to dip it in ink and write the Mahabharata. Okay, so the single tusked one, Namaha. Like this, we have so many names. They are not asking you, we don't actually say. That's just the intention in the mind, that by praising you, the obstacles will just go. Yeah.
Can I do the online question?
Sure, you can do the online question first.
Okay. Hari Om Swaminiji. Not being intentional, or maybe subconsciously, or because of validations received from others, we keep giving excuse of something that happened in the past where someone trespassed and left some ineligible hurt. But
repeat that again.
Yeah, I'm okay.
From the beginning.
All right. So maybe not intentionally or subconsciously, or perhaps because of some keep excusing some of our behavior because of something that happened in the past, or and then because of that we continue to do kind of something that may be a little bit hurtful, or harmful. So how can we become aware of doing this, and how can we then stop doing this?
This is hurtful behavior.
Um,
Read the whole thing again. Yeah.
okay, I'll Hari Om Swaminiji, not being intentional, maybe subconsciously or maybe because of validations received from others. We keep giving excuse of something that happened in the past where someone trespassed and left some indelible hurt, but we keep doing what we do, and that might be hurtful to others.
Okay, I get it. I got it now. Okay,
Okay.
so
Yeah.
the identification of oneself as a victim of circumstances. That means I have a reason for my behavior. Why are you acting out? Well, because when I was 4, somebody closed the door. Okay, and that's why I'm acting out. This could be my reason. I just made up something. Okay, so when I was 4, at my face, somebody closed the door. And so now I am diffident, hesitant, and I don't like this, I don't like that. I am, I have a difficult time in certain situations, etc., etc., etc. Then for how long? That is my question. And it's like, do you remember? I think several people were here when we did the story of the Indian parents. Yeah. And when the Indian adult child complained to the Indian parents, what did the Indian parents say? Get over it, get a life. You're an adult now. Yeah, you have the wherewithal now. You have the tools. And you're still stuck on a narrative that happened when you were 2. So essentially, while retaining the love and the care and the compassion for myself, I can slowly say, okay, who am I without this story? First of all, why do I want this story? Why do I want to identify as a traumatized person? Or as a person without resources, or as a person who is hurt, or as a person who is in need, whatever the behavior, the habit may be, then the answer will come, because I don't know who I am without it. This victimization has become my friend, name, what is that? My nameplate, my identity. It is important to claim the victimhood, otherwise I'll be in a state of dissociation. I will not know what happened to me. It's important to claim it, clean it up, process it, and then throw it out. That's what. And even in the women's movement and so many other movements of oppressed people everywhere, they don't use the word victim anymore. Survivor. See, we have changed that thinking. Nowhere we say victim anymore. We say what? Victim. Cancer survivor. Trauma survivor. Cancer survivor, whether it's physical or emotional or mental survivor. So that itself shows that there is a change in the collective thinking, and it's high time we bring it into the individual thinking as well. If I'm not even my body, how can I be what happened to me? The whole teaching is I transcend the body, I transcend the mind. So something that somebody did to me, how can I lead my whole life based on that? That is not the reality of me. I let go of that story. I let go of that narrative. And again, there are many, many useful tools. Yoga is good, therapy is good. You can take Bach flower remedies, they help. So many things are there. And so, of course, Vedanta helps. And while I pursue Vedanta, I can also do some day-to-day housekeeping of not letting the trauma run my life. That is what it is. Yeah, good question. And who had the question? No, but before that, somebody else here. Yeah, him.
She covered it.
Oh, okay.
Don't have the question now? Oh, okay. Yeah. Funny how that happens. Yeah. Here. And there is one more online?
Yeah, a little
Okay.
bit of a follow-up.
Okay.
Um, there's this concept of names and forms, and it's my understanding that it's not a good idea to have names and forms. It gets in the way of being, in a sense. So I'm wondering, when we have a name or a form for a person, like, oh, I'm very emotional, I'm sensitive, I'm an old soul, I'm a new soul, I'm a, we have these names and forms that we put on people. I think, I personally think that maybe it gets in the way, but I don't know what to put instead. In other words, you're saying, who are you really? So if you're not any of these names and form things, what vocabulary do you use for that?
That's why the Swamis have it easy. Everyone is Ananda. Then give yourself a new name. Yeah. Give yourself a new name. That's a nice thing to do. Many people do that. They give themselves a new name based on who they are right now, and or it doesn't, if we know the truth of all names and forms, and that the names and forms are finite, it doesn't matter what anybody calls me. It really doesn't. Because I know the truth of who I am. That's what I said. You can say, I am Satchidananda. You can name yourself Satchidananda. That is everybody's name. Yeah. No copyright needed, no copyright possible. Yeah. An ancient blessing name. Everybody is Satchidananda.
A continuation of the previous question. Someone said Draupadi never used kintu or parantu in her life. Does it mean she never gave any excuse for any action? How can someone get this kind of clarity in their life?
Draupadi was a formidable princess. OMG. Yes. She was a princess who was married to Arjuna. And in fact, she liked him from the start. That's why she did not go in for the other arranged marriage. She instead had a Swayamvara, meaning all the princes are invited, and along with them will be a sidekick who will tell all the things about that prince. Because it doesn't look nice to say, I have done so many things and I have whatever, killed this one and I have gained that one and all these things. So Arjuna was also invited. She didn't want to hear all these stories of the princes. She just had them do a test. And whoever passes the test, I will marry, she said. She knew only Arjuna can pass it. There was a fish on a revolving kind of some yantra, a fish, and then it was being reflected in the moving waters of a fountain downstairs, underneath. He had to not look at the fish, but look at the fish in the moving waters and pierce the eye of the fish. And only he was able to do it. And they were married, and with great joy, he brought his bride home, very close to his mother. Mom, look at what I brought. Because he wanted the mother to come out and greet the bride, do arati, and bring her inside. That's the mother job. And Instead, she said, I am doing puja. When I do puja, I don't get up and come. And how many times have I told you, whatever you have, share it equally with your brothers? Oops. But really, in the ancient times, the given word could not be crossed, especially when one is doing puja. Sitting in the puja room where only truth should be spoken, she has spoken these words. And she came out and then said, oh my God, what have I done? And then an assembly of sages were called. Draupadi was called. Kunti, the mother, was present. Then they all decided whether to uphold these words. First, we have to ask the lady, will you uphold the mother-in-law's words who you haven't even met? In the contemporary times, we know the answer. Forget it. Besides, it's illegal. You know, I can be married only once. Forget it, lady. This is not happening. Yeah. But in those days, that was not the case. And so she said, the mother-in-law must have had something in her. Mother-in-law was in the puja room. God has spoken through her, and I will abide by her wishes. She hadn't seen the other 4 brothers at all. She had no idea. And this was going to be very difficult for her. Then they sat down and came with an arrangement. 2 years with the other, all 5 of them. 2 years. No, and the other people, the other husbands, whatever, the other consorts could not send SMS, no email allowed, no phone calls allowed. In fact, no contact. And then it would be somebody's turn every 2 years. Then between going from one husband to another, to show a sense of like, okay, I have come from this person, but I don't have him on my mind. I'm going to only be with you. She would pass through some kind of a curtain, which to other people looked like a fire curtain, but it wasn't fire. It was like some kind of a Harry Potter-esque invisibility shield or something like that. And then after coming out of there, she would forget what all happened immediately. And so she would be in a new place to be with who was on the list, the brother who was on the list next. Really. So kintu means but, parantu also is another but and ifs. So really, if she wanted to say but and if, she could have said, even if this were possible, I wouldn't do this, but out of my life. She could have said that right in the beginning. But she did not look this way, that way. She had very, very strong woman. And then later on, when the 5 husbands gave her up completely, and in a fit of drunken, stupor, they sold her to the Kauravas, the villains of the Mahabharata. How did they give her away? In a game of dice. They wagered her and they lost. In fact, that's not allowed in the Shastra at all. Women and children are never considered property in India. In fact, they were considered property even in Victorian England, but never in India, women and children were considered property of the man at no point in time. So if she is not property, what right I have to give her away? No right at all. But still, these 5 fellows, useless beings, gave her away. And then everybody started to harass her. That was really the first Me Too moment, really. Yeah. Everybody started to harass her, and then what's his name? Dushasana. Actually, I think his Dushasana means badly behaved one. Okay. Who names their child like that? Think about it. I think his name must have been Sushasan, well behaved. But then because of his behavior, it became Dushasan. He was a bad boy. always, and grew into a bad man. That's what it was, badly behaved man. And so he said that, oh, that's because she is a spoil of the war, and then so I'm going to publicly defame the people by disrobing her in public. This is what he did. Pulled the sari. And then she prayed to Krishna. She said, Krishna, where are you? Everybody has, my own husbands have abandoned me, 5 of them, and all of them turned out to be useless. And here I am being disrobed in public. What are you going to do? Krishna said, don't fear, I am here. And so he pulls out one sari. Before that, she's clad in the second sari without undergoing any shame at all. And then he pulls that yardage and yardage of material. And that was the first case of repetitive stress injury on both his shoulders. And he just pulled and pulled till he could not pull anymore. And he said, ha. And he went and sat down. She never forgot that. She was so adamant about getting justice. She said, because of this insult, I'm going to stop combing my hair. No, come on, you're growing dead dreadlocks. Yes, I'm going to grow dead dreadlocks. I'm not going to do my hair at all. When will you start doing your hair again? When will you start combing your hair? After I anoint it with the blood of Dushasana. Taken from his thigh nonetheless. Why? Because before he disrobed her, he pointed to his lap and said, come and sit on my lap. A very lewd behavior. So this is who she was. Very, very formidable. In fact, all the characters, the female characters in the Mahabharata, amazing, really amazing. Somebody else had a question? Shall we close? Yes? ॐ सर्वे भवन्तु सुखिनः सर्वे सन्तु निरामयाः सर्वे भद्राणि पश्यन्तु मा कश्चित् दुःखभाग् भवेत् असतो मा सद्गमय तमसो मा ज्योतिर्गमय अमृत्योर्मा अमृतङ्गमय ॐ पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते ॐ शान्तिः 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 हरिः ॐ श्रीगुरुभ्यो नमः हरिः ॐ